Hi guys, Britain should act like it's divorced from Europe, but it should sleep in the same bed as the EU. That was the advice Vice President of the Paris Peace Forum and political commentator Pascal Lamy had for a future UK government. Lamy explained in this interview to French state media that the next Labour administration may need to hold back from broadcasting such an unusual relationship to the British people. While as Brexit sours in the minds of the public, it will still take time for politicians to come out and express their true feelings. But the UK will continue to have a dysfunctional relationship with Europe for the foreseeable future. Have a listen to this.
Pascal Lamy, you've been a prolific commentator on Brexit and on the British media, although perhaps a little less so in the last couple of years, but certainly after the referendum you were on British talk shows a lot. Just before we started this interview, you told me that you were talking to various interlocutors in the UK. What's your sense of where Britain is going on the whole Brexit issue and what a possible future Labour government might do on this?
Well, let's look at facts. Brexit is more messy, more costly than we all expected, including people like me who were against Brexit. I thought it would be a problem. I didn't think it would be that big a problem. So this has to be fixed a way or another. And I recognize it's now very complex. But in a nutshell, my advice to my pals in the Labour Party is very simple. The strategy should be keep the notion that you have divorced for political reasons, but keep sleeping together because that's the way to address the economic problem. So if you want to remain on the politics of Brexit, you say we've divorced. But if you want to reduce the cost for UK, keep sleeping together with Europeans.
But don't tell the British public that you're sleeping together. Is that the idea?
I think for some time that should be the game, while recognizing that there may be paparazzis here and there.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Well said. And I think that's exactly what the Labour Party are doing at the moment. They have been saying in interviews, a whole range of Labour MPs and potentially Labour cabinet members have been saying Brexit is done, let's move on, it's over, we had a vote, the majority supported leaving the European Union, we're not going to rerun the referendum, let's move on, but let's have a better relationship with Europe. And I think this is what Pascal Lamy is pointing to here, the idea that yes, you mentioned divorce in public, but behind closed doors, the UK is still sleeping with the European Union. We're seeing that when Rishi Sunak reached out to Ursula von der Leyen, when they said, look, let's put the past behind us, and the past being, of course, the distrust of the likes of, created by the likes of Boris Johnson and Liz Truss. Let's move on from that. Let's have a better relationship. He continued to push Brexit and say that Brexit has been a success. And Rishi Sunak is a strange one because, of course, he is a Brexiteer. But when he delivered the Windsor Framework and went to Belfast, I think it was a Coca-Cola factory there, when he went to Belfast and he talked about how this was a wonderful opportunity for Northern Ireland, he sounded sincere. He actually sounded like he believed what he was saying. But he never said that Brexit was a mistake. That part of Brexit was being undone. Northern Ireland, as I've mentioned before, Northern Ireland has a fire extinguisher against Brexit, the Northern Ireland Protocol. It doesn't undo all the damage, but it mitigates a lot of that damage. The Labour Party will have to try and do something similar. They'll have to do, as Pascal Lamy is here saying, saying we've left the European Union, it's over, we're not going back, there's no appetite to rejoin the European Union or whatever. This is, of course, to keep the right-wing media at bay, because the right-wing media are looking for any opportunity they can find to bring down a future Labour government. And if they think they can use Brexit, they'll use Brexit. So the Labour Party have to be very careful with their language. We would prefer them to say, yes, we want to rejoin the European Union. We're going to work to rejoining the European Union. But unfortunately, maybe the public aren't on board with that yet. The polling seems to suggest that they are. But we saw how the right-wing media can turn people from believing in something one day to being completely against it the next. And there are certain elements in the UK media that want the UK to stay outside of the European Union. They benefit financially from that. The public don't, businesses don't, but they do. So is it good to be honest with the public? Yes, but sometimes maybe not completely. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.